Oh, my next guest has enormous talent and sex appeal and a lot of talent, too. He's managed to rise from being the son of a Billingsgate fishmonger. I thought you only had those in Charles Dickens stories. One of the most busy movie actors around, one of the most successful, but all of his family, all the way back, worked as fish porters, I think they're called. So he obviously started out with very little money and has become an immense success. In his latest film, X, Y, and Z, Z-E-E, he's married to Elizabeth Taylor and has an affair with Susanna York, and it's a strange way to make a living. Will you welcome Mr. Michael Caine? Good to see you, old man.
Good to see you, Dick.
Say, when people say, if somebody comes up to you and says, "You're my favorite movie that you were ever in," what title do you expect to hear? What usually happens?
Alfie.
Is it usually Alfie?
Always, yes.
Yeah. It's never the Ipcress File?
Yeah, sometimes, but mostly it's Alfie.
Because in a way, although I thought Alfie was good, Zulu is the one I could see over and over, and that was your first real film part. I don't even know if you think it was any good. Something about that movie really got me.
Well, Zulu was okay, but the trouble was it was about the... it wasn't much of a success in America because it was about the wars, the colonial wars, the British Army and the Zulus, you know. And there's a lot of time it was black and white people slaughtering each other. Yeah. And by the time it got to America, nobody really wanted to know anything. It wasn't a great idea. The only thing is that I would say, in its defense, it was purely, from a British point of view, it was just about two armies fighting each other, and it was made in complete innocence.
I didn't think it...
And as you're very tall...
I didn't think it had... What part of Africa does the Zulu come from?
Northern South Africa. There's, in the north of South Africa, there's a land which is all mountains, and the Zulus are farmers, and they're hill people. They're very big, tall men, and the Basutos are the people from the flatland who are little men. I don't know why that is. I suppose you have to get tall to see over the hills if you live in the mountains.
I just liked it as an adventure movie. I mean, I didn't see it as
it's a great adventure movie, but and I was rather sort of shocked at the reaction in America of say, for instance, people like Dick Gregory did a whole skit on it, you know, and which sort of ridiculed it, and it hadn't occurred to anybody in England about colour prejudice or anything. It was just the British Army has fought and lost to every army in the world. We didn't figure there was any difference to fight and lose to the Zulus.
Had trouble everywhere else.
We had trouble. We got a few. Yeah, we've even got some now.
Yeah, Northern Ireland.
Yeah,
you got a fuel shortage going on.
We managed to stay cheerful through trials and tribulations. Yeah.
Say, is it embarrassing, and am I likely to offend you by mentioning that your film has had what they politely call mixed reviews? X, Y, Z?
Yeah, I thought I was again right. I must be completely out of step with New York because this picture is opened in Los Angeles to ecstatic reviews. They look like I wrote the reviews, and in New York, the reviews were sort of... Pauline Kael, who I think is the best critic in America, gave it a rave. Yeah. But Vincent Canby at the Times, he talked about it, and he was under the impression we made a movie called 3 into 2 Won't Go, which was a film that was made about 2 years ago by Rod Steiger, and because we weren't very much like 3 into 2 Won't Go, he gave us a very bad review. But Pauline Kael thought the picture was marvellous. Rex Reed, what's his name? Rex Reed?
Rex Reed.
He jumped all over us, but as he'd appeared in Myra Breckinridge, I don't think his opinion counts very heavily.
He's taken so much blasting from appearing in Myra Breckinridge.
Yeah, he's also made a lot of money out of it.
I'm not here to say that it's not well-deserved to the one who would appear in Myra Breckinridge.
No, but it's a lot better picture than that.
Yeah. I got to read Pauline Kael's review. She always convinces me that what she's saying is exactly what's the truth about a film, and that even if I haven't seen it, I agree with her. You know, her approach to writing about movies and all is just wonderful. I can't wait to get the New Yorker every week.
What she said was that she adored Elizabeth Taylor as a child and has never liked her since until this movie. That's what Pauline Kael says. That she never liked Elizabeth Taylor since she was a child until this film.
And what
So I
does she
think
say
that's
about
a-
all those films in between, then?
She never said anything. She said this is the best one she's ever made since.
Gee.
That's not exactly a bad review, is it?
No, and she's a on wheels in this
She is
movie,
the-
isn't she?
Yeah, she's great. She's fantastic.
I hear this, but I can't understand the. I've read several reviews. I haven't seen Pauline Kael's, but the plot is so complicated. Boy meets girl and gets friend, and friend meets wife,
it's not that complicated.
and all get panned by Rex Reed.
Yeah, it's the only thing that is funnier than his review is the movie, because the movie is a comedy, and everybody took it as a tremendous drama, and because Elizabeth was in it. I suppose Elizabeth done all that suddenly last summer. Butterfield, they just couldn't think of her as being funny, and she is great and very funny.
I always liked her. And she speaks highly of me, I hear.
Yeah, she does.
She doesn't. Why, she doesn't know I exist. We have a little bit from the movie.
Yeah.
For our fans who don't get out to the movie house until they see a little bit of the movie and see whether they want to see it or not. What can you tell us about what we're about to see?
I'm married to Elizabeth Taylor.
Okay.
I'm having an affair with Susanna York.
Yeah.
And I come back and Elizabeth Taylor's found out about Susanna York, and this is the tail end of the row that we have.
Oh, good. Okay. With that in mind,
Sounds like a tough
take-
life.
Yeah.
let's take a look at that.
Keep taking the
Well-
tablets, you have to.
This machine seems to be stuck.
You see? Just, you were talking about the reviews. They looked at that and like it was a drama and said everybody laughed, so we failed. This is a comedy.
Yeah.
And they all sat there and say, well, Jesus, it's terrible, you see, Elizabeth Taylor, and everybody laughs when she says anything. And we thought it was a comedy. It's ridiculous the way they carry on.
Well, is that any way for ladies and gentlemen to behave, though? Throwing suitcases out?
No, it's not any way for anybody to behave. It's about an extremely vulgar married couple, and you think this, that they are very vulgar until you sometimes now and again, which is where the laughs come, is you recognise a little bit of yourself in there. And that's what I think is important about it.
That may be why some people are reacting so violently to the movie. I don't
I
know.
think-
It's just,
I think that the movie is, if you're sitting there and you're laughing at these terrible, vulgar, awful people, which the two people are, and they're really funny, and suddenly you recognize yourself, you are insulted by the picture, I suppose.
Yeah, could be.
And that's, don't worry, the reactions we get, a lot of them like.
Will I see any of myself in any of the characters?
No, you won't. You won't see any of yourself. You won't see any of yourself. You'll think
Really?
you'll think we're all very funny,
Yeah.
but you don't have to worry.
Oh, I want to see myself.